So everybody, look, it's been a few weeks since we've obviously uploaded anything for specific reasons. There's no point in getting into it, but we're back now to come back with some more random news and facts.
The next topic being about, and this has happened today, it's about Sacha Baron Cohen. He trolled an alt-right rally today that happened in the States, in Washington. It was a rally that was occurring for March for Our Rights, number 3. And the 3 is there because apparently it's for the 3% that they refer to. And that 3% is a dubious historical claim where 3% of the American colonists fought against the British during the during the War of Independence, not the World War.
An accurate 3% or an assumed 3%?
It has to be an assumed 3%. But it's a pro-gun event that indicates as a response to student-led marches for Our Lives demonstration after the high school shooting in Florida. So that's what this event's about. It's obviously pro-gun, alt-wing, and Sacha Baron Cohen. And the reason this is a good segue is because he was inspired a lot by Jim Carrey films. So that's how I got onto this, just in case you didn't know that. So what he did was he pretended to be the leader of a group known as PAC, a leader of a singer band or something along those lines.
Country singer.
Country singer. And he wanted to go to the event. He dressed up in overalls, the large beard. And he went on stage and he had his own security crew that were watching him and doing everything. And he started singing anti-Semitic taunts and anti-Asia calls to violence and a whole bunch of other things. And he actually got a large parts of the crowd to sing along with him until eventually people realized what he was doing. Some of the others, the event organizers, and they couldn't get him off stage or cut his power because of his security that were there to facilitate the process.
His private security. Nah, bro.
Yeah. So a lot of people say,
are you not entertained?
No. So then apparently, and then he snuck away in an emergency ambulance. That was his getaway. Apparently they just say it's a sequel to the far right. What is the last thing that he shot? That had to do with the American civil rights or something along those lines. What is that movie?
The Dictator.
Not the Dictator. No. This was recent, man. It was a satire. Oh, Who's America? So it was a political satire, and it was called Who's America. So some people think this is going to be the second part.
By the way, since you're talking about Ace Ventura and Jim Carrey.
Oh, nice shirt.
Put me in, coach.
Put Warren in, coach. Yeah, Warren's desperate for
There's just so
Ace
much
Ventura's approval.
There's so much synergy today. There's just synergy. So happening.
But going back to this thing though, let's critique what he does, Sacha Baron Cohen. Let's whether we're going to look at it from a neutral perspective, we're going to look at it from an artistic perspective, we're going to look at it from whatever you want to see. I mean, first of all, his interest in American culture is huge because something you didn't know is he wrote his thesis about the American Civil War. He is of Jewish descent, but German Jewish descent. So, and he's highly intellectual, the whole bunch of other things. I've seen him at a round table and I've met him once on YouTube. Yeah, but let's talk about the stuff that he does. He comes out there and he does, when you look at his works, it's a bit of like a mockumentary, documentary. It's very satire driven. It's very shocking to your random audience member or to the public.
Almost like your conservative audience, yeah.
Yeah, conservative audience. Yeah. So he brings to light a lot of issues that happen and he tries to obviously make them aware of the things that are subliminally happening within society, and obviously it offends certain people who don't like their bubbles being popped.
Yeah. No, I agree. You can go back to besides his Ali G days. You go to Borat, where I'm not going to say the words because we'll definitely get in trouble, but he sang certain songs and obviously towards Jewish people and whatnot. Then he did Bruno after that. Which was, and where he invited Paula Abdul to his house or something to do an interview, and she's obviously anti, what's the word, discrimination and obviously slave trade like everyone is, and he had random like Indonesians or Mexicans pretending to be chairs, and then she sat on them and had the interview, that kind of stuff. So he does all these crazy things, which I suppose works in the favor because of the extremeness that he goes to. It causes you to listen whether you want to or not. And the way he does it, you can be offended, but if you're not, I don't want to say small-minded, but if you're not trying to see the bigger picture of what he's trying to show, you'll take offense to it. Otherwise, you'll actually learn something from what he's trying to tell you and what he's teaching you about society or the moment in time we're in. And he's not a stupid guy, as we know, based on his thesis that you're talking about. And yeah, I think creativity-wise, it's besides creativity, you have to be a little crazy. Like there's something that's not altogether there to be able to do what he does comfortably, because at this rally, you know for a fact if something went wrong, those oaks would have probably beat the shit out of him.
Oh, not even. It's a pro-gun rally, so a likelihood, well, not I say likelihood, but a possibility of getting shot too.
Yeah,
and I think that's also when you got to take the whole artwork or the whole thing that he does, the performance that he does into account, and how risky it can actually be, not only to himself, but his crew member and everyone else who's there to produce this piece of work, which is pretty interesting. And largely, like if you got to compare what he does to what a comedian does, it's very contextual to and relevant to the times that whatever he's shooting in and these personas that he creates, with the time being as to what's being spoken about, for example, all the matters that are happening in this world at this moment in time. And you've really got to appreciate the risk that he puts out there. It's something crazy. It's not just going on stage performing in front of an audience. It's going on stage, because part of the thing is he's portraying this character that he's nothing like, but then he's got someone that he's interacting with who's completely taking that situation seriously. And that's the charm in what he does. It's not a scripted thing. It's completely improv. It's completely, obviously there's something he's trying to get to. There's a subliminal message he's trying to awaken in everyone. Yeah. And man, I appreciate the work that he does. I think it's fantastic. And I always enjoy his speeches.
Yeah, no, he's very good. He's he's very intelligent. He's good at what he does. He's what I guess you could say he's a comedian, yes, but he's not what you would call a stage comedian, you know, like the Dave Chappelle's and the Kevin Hart's and the Richard Pryor and stuff, which are all amazing. And they do touch on specific sensitive topics all the time. He is that, I almost said like live action kind of comedian. He doesn't just talk about it. He now gets involved physically in a character in public eye. Like I think it was not too long ago where he infiltrated sounds so bad. He managed to do an interview with some politicians, one of these politicians in the States, and got him to agree or say
that was part of the Who's America thing.
Yeah, that thing you were talking about. And those are massive risks. So props to that, obviously, naturally.
Well, he had security members looking for him in the building. I think it was FBI or something while he was, because they didn't know who the random in the building was, but it was him. But obviously it pretended
it wasn't him.
Else.
Yeah, it was him, but it wasn't him.
Yeah, it was crazy.
He's basically a lizard. He's like a chameleon, bro. That's what he is.
But the question is, does he change the color? Or does his color change to brown? So he's a green lizard becoming brown, like that extinct lizard.
I think he changes. He's brownish orange when he's not doing stupid, crazy shit like this. And then he becomes luminescent green when he's in his element.
Well, that ties into his Borat attire.
Yeah, true. 100%.